Hello. So this video here is going to briefly go over how to fill out the application process for the Northeast Carpenters Apprentice Training Fund after you've completed an info session. So when you receive the email and text regarding the application link, you're going to click on it, and that will bring you first to this screen here. This is where you fill out your information. The first thing you want to do is check that your name across the top is correct. For us, this is just a test, so it is correct up here. Then you need to enter the same information that you used to register for the info session. If it is incorrect, it's going to show you at the top a screen here that says system failed to verify the data. That means that you've entered the wrong information in. If it is your correct last four in your social, and it is your correct birthday, and your name is correct and it's still not working, please contact the school and they will let you know what you've actually entered for the registration, and then later on we can change it for you. But you do need to enter the same information that you used to register for the info session. If it is correct, it will then bring you to your next screen here. This is your actual application that you're going to be filling out. The darker information here cannot be changed. This is what you use to register for the info session, and this will have to stay this way until after you complete your info or your application. Once you complete your application, then we can go back later and change that information for you. So you can see, double check that everything is correct. And then at the top, you'll notice there is a site applying. You'll also see what we spoke about in the information session. If applying to millwright or mill cabinet, the Edison site must be selected. If you are applying to the pile drivers, then the Hamilton site must be selected. So for example, let's click on Edison, and let's say we want to be a pile driver. When we head down to the choice of options now, the millwright and mill cabinet are an option, as well as the floor layer and carpenter, which are available at both training centers, but pile driver is not an option. So if you do not see the trade that you're looking for under the apprentice program, you want to go up to the top and change the site that you're applying to. Once you change it, you can now see that the mill cabinet and millwright are gone, but the pile driver is available. Now, based off of the picture that was in the info session, you also know that the upper portion is for the Edison, the lower is for the Hamilton. That will be based off of what local you're choosing for the Carpenters. So right now, remember, we're under the Hamilton. So when we choose Carpenter, a video will show up giving you information about it. And only local 255 is an option because 254 and 253 will always go to the Edison Training Center. If you choose Edison, under the Carpenter, you have all three locals. You would only choose local 255 if you were above that line. Normally, it's definitely above the Trenton area and up, but that line would show you where you're going to actually apply to. Once you fill out all your information, emergency contact, you have the entry method as well here at the top. A few things to go over with this here. If you are in a veteran program, the helmets, the hard hats, or the MVP, you want to choose that. If you're just coming out of VOTEC, meaning you're graduating from VOTEC last year or this year, then you'll choose it. If you went to VOTEC 10 years ago, this is not what you would choose as an option. There's also the Youth Transition to Work program, Career Connections. If you are part of the Career Connections in some of those VOTECs, you would choose this, and the CARP program as well. Otherwise, you can leave that blank if none of these actually apply to you. You want to make sure that you're filling out all this information, especially when you hit to the military status, the branch, length of service, things that you've done, your work records where you talk about your present employers, how long you've worked for them, your wages, and the type of work is also very important when you give that description. Previous trade experiences, why you want to be in the organization, and how did you hear about us? So after you complete all of these things, you will hit the submit button, check these two boxes, sign, submit, and that is not finished with the application process. You will then move over to submitting your documentation. So once you get to the upload document page, there's going to be 4 documents that you have to make sure that you fill out. And those have the asterisks. The driver's license, the high school transcript, the letter of recommendation, and the resume. For the letter of recommendation, it needs to be an actual letter from somebody. It can't be a few names and phone numbers. It has to be an actual letter of recommendation. The resume cannot be pictures of some of the work that you've just done in the past. It needs to be a formal resume that you're submitting. For the Career Connection certificate, that will only apply if you're in the VOTEC program that does the Career Connections, and you can submit that here. If you're still waiting to graduate the VOTEC school, at that point you can bring that Career Connections when you come with your interview. So how do you actually upload these documents? One of the things you want to check is the allowed file types. We allow Word documents, PDFs, JPEGs, and .png. iPhones tend to take their pictures in what's called a HEIF file. It's .heif, and that's not compatible with computers. So what you need to do is if you have an iPhone and you try to upload a picture and it does not work, what you can do is once you've taken that picture, you can screenshot that picture, and when you screenshot a picture on an iPhone, it saves it as a .png, and then you should be able to upload it no problem. But that's only if when you upload a picture on the iPhone, it does not allow you to upload it. It says it's incompatible file type, or it gives you an error. So the first thing you'll do is click on each one of these. You can see the check mark moves around. I've already done 3 of them, so I'm on to the last one. When I go to letter of recommendation and I upload that picture, this upload later will change to complete application. So we chose the letter of recommendation. We're going to choose the file. Click this here. Open it. Since it is a .jpeg, it is a compatible file type, and we hit the upload button. So now you can see all 4 of these are down here, which means that we've uploaded the 4 necessary documentations, and we can choose confirm application. One last thing to note is that if you do have something additional that you need to add, another high school transcript, for example, you can add that here again, choose the file, and then upload it. It will upload a second high school diploma or GED. So if you have a high school and a transcript, you can do that a second time in order to get both of them in for the application. And then you just hit confirm application, and you're all set, you're finished. Hopefully this helps to guide you through the application process.